Welcome to
Stays Crunchy and Milk.
Yes, it's Cleveland's longest running podcast and the place to hang with your internet besties. Got questions or comments? The email address for the show is podcast@stayscrunchyandmilk.com. Crunchy, of course, being spelled with a K.
Stays Crunchy.
You can also give us a call or message us at 216-264-6311. That's 216-264-6311.
Stays Crunchy.
We're available anywhere fine podcasts are, and of course at the website stayscrunchyandmilk.com. Please rate, review, subscribe, and share the show wherever possible, like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. And now,
Stays Crunchy.
on with the
Stays
show.
Crunchy. Stays Crunchy. Stays Crunchy.
What I
Stays
do-
Crunchy. Stays
Like I
Crunchy.
said, every time I talk
Stays
about this, I
Crunchy.
always add this caveat: if the weather agrees, with regards to us seeing this damn solar eclipse. And I know what April is in Ohio. It can be snowing, it can be raining, it could be 80 degrees.
It's supposed
But it
to
is-
snow tonight.
Yeah, see, but currently there's competing weather models on the how clear it's going to be in the Buckeye State, in all part of the Buckeye State for this eclipse. And I thought I'd tell y'all about that this go around. And this is an article I got from CNN. Mary Gilbert, CNN meteorologist, on the byline. The latest eclipse forecast is throwing a curveball at eclipse watchers. The highly anticipated total solar eclipse is fast approaching, but Mother Nature is throwing some curveballs with the weather forecast. The atmosphere looks poised to deliver an unfortunately timed lesson in the difference between day-to-day weather and long-term climatology for millions of people in the path of totality. The current forecast shows pockets of disruptive cloud coverage in the path of totality, and in some areas that are almost the complete opposite of what historical cloud cover data show for April 8th, causing some that made advanced plans to scramble to get in position to the best view. Years of past cloud cover data pinpoint the southern plains, is the region with the greatest chance for cloud-free viewing experience on April 8th. And the northeast was one of the worst chances. But high pressure and a largely cloud-free sky could shape up over the northeast, especially New England, and other excellent viewing conditions for totality. And then they, give you a little map. Well, here, I guess I can share my screen and with, my phone, entire screen. Share. So you can kind of see what that cloud cover normally looks like. This is a map that says what cloud cover normally looks like, measured over years. This is 20 years of cloud data that says, well, yeah, we're probably going to be cloudy and they probably going to be clear. But that's not what is currently being predicted. Meanwhile, storm system driving a severe weather risk in the southern plains and Mississippi Valley could also send moist air from the Gulf of Mexico north into parts of Tennessee and Ohio valleys. This could potentially lead to an increase in cloud cover in both regions and could obstruct totality views. A cloudy forecast doesn't mean one's eclipse experience will be totally ruined. Even if under a thick, overcast layer of clouds, the eclipse will turn day to night for several minutes in the path of totality. But if you can't see the sun, you also might not be able to watch some special eclipse moments unfold from the ground. The severe weather risk intersects with the significant portion of the path of totality in the south. Any clouds ahead of the storm could obscure the view for some, but storms are more likely and could bring risk to post-eclipse travelers. Totality is when the moon will utterly block the sun. But I want to show y'all that they have this. So can y'all see this map relatively clear?
Yes.
Okay. So there's two models for the weather. This is the American model. So you can see it has a lot of clouds over us, but pretty clear upstate New York. But this is the European model, which has us a little cloudy, but right where we kick it at, cloud free, relatively speaking. And upstate New York a little more cloudy. As we get closer to it, and pretty much Sunday night is when I will figure what I'm actually going to do. If Sunday night comes and they say, "Bro, it's gonna be cloudy tomorrow," I'm getting up Monday morning. I'm getting in the car and I'm driving northeast to upstate New York, assuming it says upstate New York is gonna be clear. And now I'm going to get a clear view of this eclipse because, like I said, unless you travel the globe, normally a once in a lifetime event, and I want it at its full. Mwah. And so I told you I'd already taken the days off. I was prepared for this very thing, to be prepared to make moves if I have to. By the time you hear this episode, it happened already. Was it great and glorious? And I stayed here and just went to the park over a couple of streets over? Mayhaps. Did I hop in the whip, fill the tank up, and head up north? Maybe. So I'm wild excited for it, of course, as you know, and I'm glad I got the time off from work and so forth. But and we all did. Lee's off school, Xander got off work, Vanessa got off work, so this little family is riding. But Vanessa worried, she's like, I don't want to be stuck in another state. And I'm like, bruh, we'll get home. It just may take forever. But I just, like I said, I want the opportunity, and well, who knows? I hope the European model just pays off. I don't know who to trust when it comes to weather. Are Europeans forecasting weather better than us? Are their satellites doing it and their computers better than ours?
Rest in peace, they got her.
But that's the only thing, like I said, that's where my head has been at for this damn this ding dang bad eclipse that I'm so excited for, that I'm just like, that it just, all it does is, of course, because I'm so excited for it, all it does is set me up for disappointment. Because that's just how it functions in Ohio. You know how the state moves.
Well, I just feel like I don't know. Our plans was just to stay local. Because I don't want to be caught up out there, because there's a lot of like, oh man, you need to make sure you got all the Doritos you can eat and a handful of popcorn too. Make sure you got all the Kool-Aid you like. But I don't know.
Luckily, did all shopping. Got all the toilet paper, got all the chips. Got some, if you can see behind me, I'm saying some Easter stuff popping off back there behind me. So I got some Easter snacks, you know what I'm saying?
Did you get some 50% off candy, or? No,
that's all real paid for treats. You know, me, I copped a bunch of stuff with me and boxes up north. Mm-hmm. And then Vanessa basically got all the jelly beans from Five Below.
Oh, okay.
So Swedish Fish jelly beans, Sour Patch jelly beans, OG, just standard, Nerds jelly beans, and Welch's jelly beans. Them Welch's ones is fire. They so good.
Take the time to taste the Welch's.
Oh no, I guess if we chat Easter candy, the homie Nick Jew came through.
Oh,
Cadbury cream egg bar, all egg, no goo, which is just so frolic. Such a statement to make about one treat. All goo, no egg.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So I'm very excited about that. I'm like, am I just gonna eat this shit? Am I gonna make a TikTok? I don't know. I don't know. Is that content work? Should I make content out of it, or should I just enjoy it? I got two, so I mean, I guess I could enjoy one and make content with one. So,
speaking of content, did you try the key lime pie from Crumble?
No, I did have their carrot cake, which was insane. It was so good. It was better than any carrot, not better than any carrot cake, but probably one of the best carrot cakes I have had. And it's one of my favorite carrot cakes, like one of those things I love, you know what I'm saying? So I know it well, and I know which ones I don't like. You never know, again, you'll come across a carrot cake, a little sour. I don't fuck with that. You'll come in one with just a little too raisin dense, because people like putting their little raisins in them shits. Yeah. Some people be like, I'm going to put a little pineapple with it. Like, maybe, but not a lot of pineapple. You know what I'm saying?
I usually do like a little crust pineapple. I don't do like pineapple chunks.
And crushed pineapple would just basically become a part of batter. You wouldn't really get the texture; you get the flavor.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I bang with that. But tell me about this key lime pie. You get out, I assume you got one.
I did get one. It was pretty good. Everything was good except the crust, which is the thing that they should probably get. The right.
The most right, because that's the cookie, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But it was pretty good, because what influenced me more to try to get it was that bitch sold out the first day.
Okay.
And I was like, man, it got to be bomb. It got to be something going on where, that's the only thing sold out on the menu. So I tried it. It was pretty good.
Right on.
I will give it, I out of 5, I give it a solid 4.
Okay. 4 Keith Lees out of 5, y'all. Take advantage. We're gonna rate this 1 through 10. Oh my god. The videos he did with Cardi B were a delight. He did like I saw like 2 or 3 of them shits, and I was like, this is fantastic. Keith Lee kicking and Cardi B.
I only seen the one, but it seemed like I don't know, man. I've been saying before she even released the album how funny she is, how entertaining she is.
Oh yeah.
Like she started off with the hoes don't get cold, like way back in the day. But she's been I don't know. She seemed like a person like I would love to hang out with.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's rare. It's rare you see. I guess not really, but it's kind of rare to see somebody who like is just mega star status that you like. They seem down, just cool. Like they'd be like, I can kick with you. Like I love. There's no way I can. I feel like Beyonce is like on a level of untouchable. Like there's no way I could just hang out with Beyonce. Even though I bet you Beyonce could fry up a mean fish. You know what I'm saying? I bet she like is cool, but she can't be cool because she is Beyonce. And whereas Cardi seems like she is cool, and cool is kind of the metric. It's like that's just who she is, you know? Like she don't know how to be no other way.
I feel like it's kind of the opposite. I feel like Beyonce has got cooler over the years, and I'm like, oh, I feel like she's been, it seems like the older she get, the more and more I probably want to hang out with her. It seemed like with Cardi, like I'm saying like Cardi, like a fucking know her. Like she's becoming more and more guarded.
And probably because she has to.
Yeah.
Like it's probably that point in time where it's she got kids and she got a man that constantly cheats on her and the internet constantly just be in her business. And here we are, the internet in her business. But and it just kind of ends up becoming that way. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, she also seems genuinely kind of a good hang. I feel you on that Beyonce measurement, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Like as she's aged and kind of been like, yes, I am Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? But I also, like I said, probably could make up a mean pot of grits and talk to you about, you know what I'm saying, whatever she been watching on TV recently. So
what celebrity would you like to hang out with, Lunch? If you could pick one.
So I'm never really like starstruck with anybody, so I've never had like a desire to really hang out with anyone. But I guess if I had to pick somebody, man, not like, does it have to be someone current or it could be someone like from when I was a kid? Dead or alive?
I'm specifically saying alive.
Okay.
And you can get to her. I don't want nobody dead no more. I don't do that shit. And yes, they can be from your childhood, and if you know what I'm saying, if they're still about, you know what I'm saying. But and I'm not saying you got to be starstruck. Just about you think, man, they'd be probably dope to kick it with.
That'd be cool to hang out with.
Honestly, I think I'd probably have a good time hanging around Seth Rogen.
Same. Easy chill dude. I don't want to like smoke a bunch of weed or nothing with him, but like he seems like he has a pretty good knowledge base about similar interests, and he does some shit that like I might find fascinating to listen to. Like I saw he was like into pottery now and shit. He's clearly like does directing.
He's
just got a lot of like a diverse talent skill set with like a varying interest that could be interesting to listen to, and I don't know. Seems like a pretty chill dude. Like based on stuff he's talked about, seems like he's got a pretty good heart. So
yeah,
I feel like I would just be like cool with just being at your house while he there. Like I'll be like, oh yes, Seth Rogen's there. It'll be a great listen. Because like I'm a pretty good big fan of that dude. Like I bought his book and then I bought it and listened to it because like the audio book is supposed to have more to it. So yeah, that's a really good one.
Did y'all watch the pickle movie he had that was right there when HBO Max first opened? Mm-hmm. And then they took it off because of course it was called American Pickle.
Yes.
It literally was like one of the first movies they had made specifically for HBO Max before it became Max. And of course they removed it. and it's nowhere. Like literally just gone. Can't find it nowhere. They took it off of that shit a while back, which is some bullshit. But basically, he plays a guy who makes pickles who ends up falling into a vat and is Captain America in the vat for like 100 years.
He's pickled.
Yeah, and then his great grandson or nephew or whatever it is, I have no idea his actual relation.
Oops.
I was like, oh shit, that you actually have family alive. So it's this guy who he plays. So he's a dual role, and his grandfather's just like disappointed in him for being like such a little homebody schmuck. That's kind of guy. So
he's a tough old Jewish dude.
Yeah, he helps him become a little more, I don't know, a little better and more in touch with his history and so forth. It's a very fun and funny movie that, of course, was snatched away because the fucker who bought who became the head of HBO Max and all that good shit after Discovery bought them. Zaslav, you'll hear that name a ton. Just made it one of those things that they wrote off because everything's like, it's a tax write-off. It's a tax write-off. It's like, fucking you suck, dude. That's why we never got was it Catwoman? Yeah, it was the Catwoman movie that they had worked on. That was going to lead into the Flash, because that's how you're supposed to end up first seeing Michael Keaton's Batman. And it would have been supposed to make. Was it Batwoman?
It was Batwoman.
All right. Well, yeah. Either way, that's how you're supposed to see it, and that would have made it make more sense in the Flash. You know what I'm saying? And instead, we got this situation. There's a Acme cartoon that a live action and cartoon that apparently everybody who has seen it said is amazing, it's perfect, and when people were like, "Let me just buy it," they tried to sell it for like an outlandish price. But so instead of just selling it, they're going to just take the tax write-off, and the tax write-off is going to be less than they could have made. But they don't want it to be a hit somewhere when it could have been a hit for them. But they'd rather just take the tax write-off, which I think gets net them X amount of money. And that's some bullshit that's probably got to stop. You got to not be able to just make shit and then be like, I'm not putting it out. I'm writing it off. That seems like, one, like you're abusing tax law. But two, man, it's like you fucking with people's art. It's like, why go through all that shit to make a whole thing and then be like, no one will see this. This will never see the light of day. It's like, fuck that. Just put it on a DVD or digital and just let the people decide, What a wild way to run one's business. But that's how he does it. That's how this dude has been known to do things. He constantly cancels stuff and takes write-offs and so forth and so on. And guess what? His stock keeps growing, and no one's ever tried to fire him or get him knocked off the board. So I guess it's good enough. Oh shit! If you ask me, like I said, oh shit, I didn't close time.is off or Spotify. I'm in a playing music that I can't have on this show all into whatever. But you been watching this? You been watching this tournament at all, or putting some money on this tournament? I don't know how you gamble these days. We hadn't talked about it in a bit. So,
so like men's or women's?
Either.
I put a few bets in on the tournament, but like I didn't watch any of it really. The only thing I saw was the LSU Iowa game, and that's because they had it on the TV at the bowling alley. And okay. I will say that Caitlin Clark has got me interested in women's basketball for the first time in like a very long time, like 2 decades probably.
Yeah.
And like I had never watched her play before this game, but like I'd heard of her. And like the rivalry between LSU and Iowa in this game was interesting to me based on what happened last year. The way Angel Reese and them were getting into it. And so I was kind of curious to see how this one would play out because, like rubber game, see like edgy team versus like the quote unquote like she's a fiery player, but she's like in that matchup she's going to be the good one,
Yeah.
Like the star player trying to get over the hump. And so it was interesting to watch the game. And I found myself like rooting for her and like actually like wanting to watch her play basketball more. And I think part of it too is because like her game feels like it, like, I don't want to, this is going to sound insulting no matter what the way I say it, but most of the time when I watch like women's basketball, they don't have like a lot, like most of them, they look like people at like the YMCA chucking up like brick threes, like really awkwardly. They don't have that same like male strength to their shot. You know, it's like a lot of like soft push shots at closer range and shit. Whereas like I felt like Caitlin Clark was like Steph Currying it out there, just fucking like dribble between the legs, pull up 30-footers, and like they looked like what I was used to seeing from like most basketball players, like growing up, like NBA players. You know, it wasn't like a soft little set shot that barely hit the rim from like 20 feet away, and it was slow moving, and it was just like she's up there, crossed between the legs, just fucking bomb 30-footer, and it's like half of them are going in. I'm watching her like dribble through her legs, like cutting through the lane, doing like bounce passes and shit. And I was like, damn, this is exciting. Like, but then like the other like 8 or like 7 of the 10 people on the court are like doing the most awkward looking bunnies that are like flying over the rim. And like, I'm just like, I can see why like there's potential here, but we got to get more of these like Caitlin Clarks together, because the rest of them right now, like, I can't pretend to be interested in watching like 5'7" girls like just completely brick layups for 40 minutes. Like, I'm sorry.
The women's game has changed greatly over the last few years, and it's gotten way more interesting because, of course, the women stay for almost all their 4 years. So you get to watch them develop as players, and then you kind of get interested in them as players because, like, I've watched you play all 4 of your seasons here. And you know what I'm saying?
Are they allowed to like come out early? Like, do they?
I don't think they can.
Like,
I think the WNBA has like rules about they can go play. A lot of people, if they do come out, they go to play in foreign places, and then they come back and play in WNBA. Unless something has changed, and I don't know about that.
And I saw a video of Elizabeth, like the tall Australian black lady, Elizabeth Cambridge or whatever her name is. She's bounced around the WNBA some.
The model chick.
Yeah. I saw her playing in like some sort of foreign league the other day. It was like a highlight video, and she was out there like looking like she was boxing out some girls that look like sumo wrestlers and shit. And she was like, she dropped like third. Like, I'm not just saying that. Like, there was like a sumo wrestler girl running down the court. Like, but like she dropped like 30, had like 15 rebounds, a couple of assists. Like, she was shooting threes and shit. I was like, it's a shame that like her WNBA career has been kind of like flippy floppy. Like she's had some run-ins some places, gotten out of the league, back in the league. Because like if you could build something around like her, Caitlin Clark, and like I've heard names of people that have come in, and I've bet on them without, like, that's the beautiful thing about gambling is like you don't have to know who anybody is, just be able to look at their stats and read the fucking odds. But like I've heard name like Aja Wilson, like I've bet on her. There's like there's like some girl in New York that I've seen people talking about. I think she's just a white girl. Not that matters, but I like
Sabrina Ionescu.
Yeah. So you have a little bit more of a knowledge base when it comes to this than I do. I just feel like there's potential here. It's like it's getting better. I don't think it's quite to the hype level that some people may make it out to be, but I think there's potential here for the WNBA to be a little more mainstream than it currently gets.
What's very exciting about the WNBA draft, which is next month, if I'm not mistaken, Caitlin Clark's coming out. Angel Reese is coming out. So like we got some again, a lot of dope 4-year players who are, what I'm saying, had showed up and won chips in college, or at least gotten real close. Coming out. Paige Beckers, who plays at UConn. She comes out I think she already declared for the draft. So it's like, it's gonna be like, man, this WNBA class is going to be stupid good. And so that's exciting. If you like the women's game, and like I said, I do enjoy women. It was 2 things that make me love is way strong, but really appreciate and enjoy women's basketball. It is Rebecca Lobo. He should literally dream about Rebecca Lobo. I find her so attractive, and I realize Rebecca Lobo is a lesbian, but I love lesbians. and it was the Cleveland Rockers. It was our WNBA team back in the day that made me like, fuck yeah, you know what I'm saying? And so I try to not, I'm not saying I know and I have teams and all that good shit, but I've appreciated the women's game because of those starting from there, you know what I'm saying? And so it's also the Final Four is here in town. It's here in Cleveland. So we got to give it up for that because you know what I'm saying it's here and everybody has spoken well of our town and we hadn't had our weird smell these last few days. So that's kind of nice. Hey man, we got you all know what I'm talking about when you get downtown. It got that love. What is that? What is that funk? You know what I'm saying? So we can't deny that the smell exists because it exists. So that's
isn't it something to do with the lake? Like, isn't it something to do like when the weather changes, like the lake lets off like.
It's the lake, but it's also just in general, and it's how our sewage systems are connected to the lake. Chicago smells the same way. Chicago has. I've been. You know what I'm saying, we hit Chicago, and I've walked past a sewer grate and we're like, oh, that's the smell of home. I know that funk. So it is a Great Lake kind of situation. I'm almost positive that does cause that little bit of a stink. But Iowa plays UConn here in this Final Four, and that means Caitlin Clark's squad going up against Paige Becker's squad, going up against one of the greatest coaches in women's basketball over at UConn. I cannot remember his name right now, and saying a beast that is Caitlin Clark, one of college basketball's greatest players ever, statistically. And just in general, but I want y'all to understand. I don't say that jokingly or half-heartedly. One of the greatest basketball players, college basketball players, D1 college basketball players ever. All sorts of records set that are hers. You know what I'm saying, going forward. And so we got that, and then it's the currently undefeated South Carolina Gamecocks going up against NC State Wolfpack. The Wolfpack, is it NC State? Is NC State in both?
Yeah.
That's crazy. And UConn's in both too, right? UConn men's and women's are in the Final Four too, right?
I believe.
I know they're in the women's. I have no idea about the men's.
Yeah, me and T were just talking about. I was looking on Instagram, and my son was like, "Hey, is that T?" And I was like, "No, that's not T." He's like, "Okay."
Yeah, UConn men's is playing Alabama, and NC State is playing Purdue on the men's side of the bracket, and on the ladies' side, it is, of course. I said ladies, and of course you gave me men. What the fuck?
I always wanted one of those NC State hoodies because, of course, I love cartoony looking mascots.
Mascots, yeah, the little wolf.
Yeah, that wolf has always been like. I've never been able to find a perfect combination of a hat that I want, but one day I'll have one.
Hey. Well, in the ladies' side, South Carolina, like I said, versus NC State, and Iowa versus UConn. And I think that UConn-Iowa game is going to be something. Not that I'm not saying the South Carolina North Carolina State game won't be something amazing. Dawn State is a great coach, and like I said, she has coached this squad to a 36-0 record currently. So you know what I'm saying. That's what's up, But I'm very excited to see the Iowa UConn John, because I like to see Paige Beckers was down. She had a severe knee injury, and plus I think COVID. Like lots of stuff has come to interrupt her stay at UConn, and so the fact that she balling out, I think that's pretty dope, man. So I'm excited to see where that particular situation goes as well. And I could give a flying fuck about the men's side of this tournament. Not at all. Word to those guys. Glad they're there. But like I said, I have no real interest over there because any team I would have been interested in has been out. So it was a I think they said almost all the brackets were busted day one of the tournament. There was nobody who made it out unscathed. It was a lot of underdogs coming through, a lot of Cinderellas. Well, they weren't Cinderellas because they didn't make it past the second round. But They came through, busted them brackets, and it was it. But also, it's like billions of dollars being gambled on these two Final Fours, and I think that's I think that's kind of amazing. I don't gamble on sports, baby. I barely played a lotto, and I think I've gambled in Vegas. I played a slot machine, and I watched Vanessa play blackjack for a little bit. That's about as much gambling as your mans can get down with. Oh my gosh. Let's get to it, people. Let me get up my little situation here. As I open this book, then burn up some of this reefer, my plan is to figure out the world and escape all my demons. I'm dying inside. I wonder if Zion inside the heavens, a kind of Maroli pain of that blunt in the Mac 11. That's all I see in my life, and they tell me to make it right, but I'm right on the edge of Everest, and I might jump tonight. Have you ever had known a saint that was taking sinners' advice? Well, it's probably you. Am I right? If I'm wrong, you're a fucking liar. When I lie on my back and look at the ceiling, it's so appealing to pray. If I wonder if I'm just a villain dealing my morals away. Some people look at my face and tell me don't worry about it. I give them back their deposit, no money, just total silence. I'm running, they say I'm wild, and the younger with lack of guidance. That's hundreds of us with problems, more money, more drugs, and violence. Look at the soul of an out-of-control artist that's dealing with life the hardest. That's all my life, but regardless, I'm going to ride to it. Because I never know when a bullet might hit, and I die to it. Live my life, live it right, be different, do different things. Don't do it like he did, because he ain't what I is, but we can wait. Let's get it straight to the point. Hello and welcome to it. It's episode 533, and no, this ain't no angel number. I'm your host, Tatum 713. Jones always my best friends. It's the 216's on Tatum.
Man, I made strawberry cookies today.
Go on.
Oh, I took some freeze-dried strawberries and put in the sugar cookie mix. Everybody seemed to like it. It was like, hey, these might be better than chocolate chip. And Emery was like, nah, it couldn't be. And then he's like, oh yeah, this might be better than chocolate chip.
I don't think I got any more right now, but I might have some freeze-dried strawberries in the house. Vanessa's been buying them lately. I bought her freeze-dried mango recently because she wanted mango and I couldn't find it for shit. Mm-hmm. But I was like, oh, here's some freeze-dried mango, and I got her that, and she fell in love with freeze-dried fruits in general. Oh, so she's been copying freeze-dried strawberries.
Yeah, freeze-dried strawberries lightweight like a Jolly Rancher. Like it got intensity of flavor in every bite.
We of course host a show called Crunchy. It's a great British Bake Off podcast, and the people on that show who always get it right when it comes to flavoring things with fruit and not making things overly wet, oftentimes, almost always use a freeze-dried of fruit to pull it off. So I fuck with that. Did you do anything? Did you blitz them up? Did you? I
put them in a food processor and just mix them into the dough. But I had to I added an extra egg. Okay. Because it was something quick. It was just a packet of sugar cookies. It wasn't nothing like I did it from scratch. It's a Thursday. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I put it through the food processor, because I used the stick on it, and it turned out pretty good. I asked Echo, I was like, "Hey man, what happened if I added an extra egg?" It was like, it's probably going to make them crispier. And
crispier, really?
I don't think that's true.
I thought cakier, but that's me.
I mean, right now, I only ate a half a cookie, and I gave it like everybody else had one. I let Anthony have the rest of it, so he'll probably be the real judge in the morning. When I pack their lunches, because that's what I pretty much made them for. Because those Cheerio Oreos are trash. They're disgusting.
What? Well, of course, they're drawn by the big homie Lunchbox 2099. What's good, sir?
Bidet power.
Box is looking extra handsome. He recently got a haircut. You probably heard that on the most recent episode. No, did you talk about the haircut on that episode? We talked about it before the episode. Either way, it's either in there or not. And
it almost looked like he got his eyebrows done too a little bit. He looking super.
He looking put together.
A tough piece of leather, well put together.
What do
So the little standard show this week, but then kind of not because, like I said, as I explained to the gentleman earlier, I found no news this week that I felt fit the bill. We did an article already, as you've heard, about the Eclipse, and I got another one for later and toward the entertainment section. So we'll get to that one then. So of course, if there's no articles, what the fuck we gonna do? Nothing. I'll pass it over to Ant just early as fuck instead of later in the game. So first up, as always, is my man Tatum. What's good, baby?
Well, it's been a week of weeks and ups and downs and smiles and frowns.
There will be.
Yeah. So last week, I won't have much for entertainment for last week because like if I'm not working and stuff means I don't really have any free time. So I didn't really watch much this week. Like it was like back and forth for watching stuff with the boys, or we had like doctor's appointments for the boys. Because my son just turned 9, so he had to, have his yearly checkup and turning costs and such and that. But something did happen to me, and it happened to happen in T City. So I was in T City one night earlier this week, and T is the real collector when it comes to albums. I am a person like I rarely get new stuff. If it's new stuff, it's usually a present from T. But I found one of my favorite albums of all time. It is called Here, My Dear by Marvin Gaye.
Yeah, I saw you posted that.
This is not a reprint. This is one of the originals, and I love because when you get the reprint, it's still 2 albums, but it's it doesn't open up.
It's not a gatefold.
And then it got like that cool Monopoly game in the inside of it. It was funny. Pete hit me up like, "Hey, is that the one that Marvin Gaye wrote for his wife so he didn't have to pay her alimony?" And I was like, "Yes, it is." And I just remember, this in the near past, me and my brother used to listen to this in our car, and he was just vibing out listening to Anna song. He was like, "Man, you ever had an Anna before?" And I was like, "Man, everybody's had an Anna, man." But I love going to the record exchange. But I straight up had, if it wasn't for that, I had the strangest experience there. Like you go to the record exchange. I don't know if it's like something. A record exchange is pretty much like a place where they have like CDs and games and records and knickknacks and paddywhacks and give dogs bones and everything. It's just like a entertainment spot where you can get a lot of stuff used and new. And so I go into the store. Nobody says anything to me, which I thought was pretty rare.
Yeah, they always show love at the gate when you first come through.
I've been going there. That's where I met my one of my best friends. So I've been going there for years and years. I've been to this location with both of y'all before, together and singularly. And it was just like I go around, I look, nobody's like, "Hey, there's nothing." It was that was weird. But then I found out I was like, "Oh man, I definitely have to get this." It really didn't matter how much it cost. It was only $20, but that's like $13 more than I usually pay for albums. But I grabbed that and I was like, "Oh man, I forgot to look at the horror genre stuff," because I'm always looking for something cool that's Child's Play Chucky related, because my partner, she loves that. I don't even think she loves that movie. I just think she kind of likes Chucky and Chucky things. So I always look for that kind of stuff, and I paid for the album and I left. But that was kind of strange, because like T said, they usually are really polite. They just weren't. So then I did one of the things that I typically try to do with my kids when they're on, if they have a day off, and we went to Chuck E. Cheese, but they're getting to the age where we got it down packed. Like, you hand me the card and we go back and forth, and I get y'all prizes while y'all play games. But they was on this Jurassic Park game for like our whole time we were there. So I was just having to go back and forth trying to earn them some toys. And it seems like they're growing up a little bit more. It's like, yeah, I want this spinny top that's not gonna spin, and I want a sticky fist that I'm gonna slap against the window. But they didn't really want that. They was like, we'll save it for the next trip. So yeah, they're getting older, and it's not. I don't know, how nostalgic do you get about how old your kids are now, T?
It's not that I get too nostalgic about it, but every so often something will come around. What basically, like, not to give too much away, but my kid officially got a job this week, and so this week he'll start. I mean, in the summer he's gonna work at the pool.
Oh, nice.
And it just made me reflect back on, like, this is my baby, my little, and is you know, all grown up fast, and it's been making some real clean, cool decisions in life, and like, so it's more like that,
and then, getting all A's
for sure. But then, in regards to this, what struck me is again, this. Don't worry about segments this week, okay? The show's going to flow like it is. Box already told me he don't even got a segment this week. So we're just kind of flowing. We're weaving in and out. People's jazz.
I think Lunch is just working a call center job right now and not wanting to tell us.
Just type it like, yes,
I'm making dough right now.
But so Xander's car was parked out in Brunswick. Him and his buddies were in Parma while the car was parked in Brunswick. Some old man, and I don't say old man pejoratively, I literally mean this man was 90 years old, driving a Ford F-150, weaved right across the street and hit Xander's car. And when it's all said and done, totaling Xander's car. And the car drives fine. Xander's still driving it. Because he's not driving it, because it's total. Remember that. But somebody was like, man, I bet he was, no, my brother. I was talking to my brother the other day. I bet he was pissed off. And I'm like, not even a little bit. Because Xander, if you've been long-time listeners and heard me tell this story, Xander came out the womb quiet. So quiet that I was like, is my kid dead? And they have not told me. But no, he just was quiet and is a super chill dude. And even to this day, he is that. And so it doesn't make me, I don't know, nostalgic per se. It just makes me go, you've been this way literally your whole life. Only time Xander got jumpy was when he was in his mama's belly when we was watching the last Matrix movie in the theater. We had to all put our blankets over her belly to kind of muffle the sound because he's like, it's too loud in here right now. And he was very active in that movie, man. So that is the kind of things that I look back on. I'm like, oh man, that's crazy. And like I said, that just happened to come up with my brother. Like, man, you must have been pissed. I'm like, he was none the sort. He knew what it was. He knows the value of his car. He pretty much knew how much he was going to get for it from insurance. Played out exactly as such. It's a little more effort to it because he decided he wants to keep the car. They're like, all right, well, you got to get a salvage title. And then you got to there's another title you have to get there afterwards that says it's been inspected and it's still roadworthy. And there's all kinds of like steps like that involved. If insurance company's going to let you keep the car. Because they'll just tow that bitch out and they'll sell it for parts. And so, but he's like, nah, I'll keep this bitch and that's going to be my car because he loves that car. And he's like, it'll be my rider and I'll end up buying another car sooner than later. I'm like, that's cool. You got a plan? That sounds like that's what's up.
That's kind of dope.
Yeah.
All right. And
that's what it seems to be for my mindset. It's like, look at you growing up so fast and becoming like I said, becoming your own person. But then in my mind, I'm like, but you've always been that person. This is just that version of that person. And It's kind of fun to watch.
Last but not least, one thing I did last week was like for our company, like we have different volunteer things that we can do that pops up on our website. And not that I really have like a chip on my shoulder about it, but I dislike the way they do it. Like they're all like the stuff they promote is never really stuff that I feel like is really helpful. I mean, like doing a beach cleanup is helpful in a way, but it's more like, to me, it's like they're a social hour. Like I don't like talking. I like really doing the stuff.
Yeah.
So,
also the city should be cleaning up their own goddamn beach. Actually, the state should be cleaning up most of these beaches because they are state parks.
no, usually it's just pretty clean. They just go there to meet up.
Oh, they're not really clean, is what you're telling me. It's a beach cleanup, but they really just kicking it.
Yes.
Ugh. I hear you, because you would like to use these volunteer hours to volunteer and help people.
Yes. So this, I'm not gonna say the name of the because I really don't. Anyway, I volunteered at a place where it was for special needs adults, and like the way the program is, they were saying like everybody here is special needs. Some people are like can't do anything for themselves, and some people just got just that one little thing that's holding them back. And it made me think of like when I was in high school, it was a dude who worked downtown that I went to high school with that was in the special needs program at the high school. And this dude straight up was in the workforce. I seen him downtown every day. Now, sometimes he was, and you could tell he was with it. Like, oh yeah, he's in the workforce. And sometimes I was like, oh yeah, I remember. Like sometimes he'll be at 100%, sometimes he'll be at 70, but he gave an effort every day. So I knew kind of people who were like that, who needed that extra help. So like first we got to tour the building and we got to see the different things that they did. One thing I thought that was impressive that they do is they put together snapback hats for the Guardians. Another thing they do, it was impressive. It was a guy who was blind, and his job was to put together these pieces with lugs and a washer and a boat, and that like you put together how many you feel like you can put together. If you just do like 20 a day, or like one of the dudes' records was 700 in a day, like. And then they get like a small check. Some people actually get like minimum wage, and some people just get something to help them get by. And like I thought it was an amazing program that like I had never even heard of. And my job that day was to show them appreciation, and we served them lunch. It was funny. Like when I got there. Yeah, I'll say it. I don't care. So when I parked with this lady, like near this lady, and looked scared automatically. But she just looked scared. That I don't know if it was because I was a man, if I was black, or it's because I was a black man. I don't know what it was. But then she seen like the company I worked for, and that I was there to help out. Man, she came right over to me like, hey, I'm taking a tour with you, and gave me the old elbow and shit. I'm like, please, why? You was just scared of me 10 minutes ago. But overall, like, it was a fun experience. I like being able to help people and help people in a real way. I'm just a regular guy. I don't have all the faculties to be able to. I would like to start a nonprofit organization, Maybe that could be something I can do before I leave this earth. But man, it was it's good to help people, and like there was a good cause just to keep people to normalize their lives. And before I left, they brought out these 2 chinchillas. It's like, oh yeah, we have these to help some to keep some of the people calm around here. Man, my throat started closing up immediately. I was like,
"Are you allergic to chinchilla?"
I must be. I was just like, I am out. Thank you, because I mean we were about to leave anyway, but they brought these 2 chinchillas, and I'm like, I'm about to leave. I felt it right away, and I'm like, my asthma is pretty well controlled. Like every once in a while, I'll need a puff or something like that. But when them chinchillas came out, it was a done deal. I was like, I gotta get out of here.
A chinchilla coat.
I can't. I can't. I think if I was doing it like that, it'll be mostly leathers anyway. And I mean, I gotta do like Pimp C. I gotta have a mink. I can't have no chinchilla.
I was gonna say Pimp C. Didn't Pimp C talk about wearing chinchilla? Or is that a Ghostface vibe?
You tell us out there, listeners, which one was it, Pimp C or Ghostface?
But also, as all animals, kind of whatever. Yes, it could be their dander, but oftentimes it could be their saliva. And I'm not saying you was getting chinchilla spit around you, but they might have some chinchilla spit on them.
Yeah, so, they probably licked it. But so the lady who like in charge of the chinchilla, like she had on a black shirt, and it was just chinchilla fur everywhere. And I'm like, how the fuck do you make a coat out of this bad boy that sheds so much? And like literally, like she had on a black shirt, and it was just like chinchilla.
White with fur.
Yes.
Or gray with fur, whatever.
Like they like gray, white, and brown. But she had so much fur on her, and then like other people like, oh, can I hold it? Like chinchilla everywhere. And then it was like, oh, she has a special lip brush she used, and like it was like one of those sticky ones or something like that, or like a special one. But I didn't give a fuck. It was time for me to dip after that.
One of Vanessa's tight friends, Rachel, had a pet chinchilla. Had that bad boy for 23 years.
Oh, wow.
Chinchillas have a very long life. And so I had met that chinchilla a few times in its existence. Vibes. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm chilling and chilling over here, bro. You know what it is? Yeah. So, yeah. Sort of. I kind of like it, but I like chinchilla everywhere a little better. But okay, chinchilla is pretty decent. But like I said, they are a very interesting animal. But of course, if it's choking you to death, what's the point? So
yeah. So yeah, I left. Got a gyro and went home.
Sick. Who'd you get a gyro from?
It was called I think the Greek guys on that's not Parma. It might be Old Brooklyn.
It's on Pearl.
Yeah, it's on Pearl Road. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Old Brooklyn.
Well, where Brooklyn at?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Again, not that I'm taking boxes out from boxes. He just had a week that hadn't been too much whatever. So I figure I'll tell you this sad tale of woe that had me worried for a little bit. And now I'm just like, this is kind of what it's going to be. So we kind of noticed last week that Jinx was just like walking in circles and bumping into things.
Oh no.
And it's like, I don't think that dog can see. And sure as shit, one of the things that seems to come right after a diabetes diagnosis in dogs is they go blind.
Oh man.
Because if they've been diagnosed with diabetes, it usually came after years of not being diagnosed with diabetes. And so years of untreated diabetes led to my old lady being blind. Mind you, she was already deaf.
Oh.
So now I have a blind deaf dog who is trying to do it all with just a sense of touch and smell.
Oh man, you got a Helen Keller?
Yes, we keep calling her Helen Keller because it is what's going down. And none of us is Annie Sullivan, my nigga. None of us. And so it is it's been interesting. It sucks. We took her to the vet, was like, yo, we gotta bring her in. And he's like, actually her sugar levels are finally in check. meaning 8 units was the proper amount. 6 was not enough. No, we start with 4. 4 was enough. 6 was enough. 8 was we got it dialed in. 8 units of insulin per day is what my dog has to have. They're like, nope. We checked her all day today. Her blood sugar levels have been fine. This is just what it is, and you can't fix it. Can't redact from blind. Blind is blind, so she cannot see. And so we've been watching her, and like you'll watch a dog, and they just like doing loops. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Vanessa's bugging out. What is happening? I don't like that she's doing circles. I'm like, have you looked it up? No. I'm like, what the fuck? Vanessa's always looks things up first. And so we look it up, and it turns out that's how blind dogs learn their space. They do these small little loops for a while. Now also, don't get it twisted. Some dogs do that because they have dementia, but also because I know she just went blind, and I know that what she's doing seems to line up with blind behavior. That's why I'm not worried about her having dementia. Again, and also she went to the doctor. It's not like I did. Not like we didn't take her to the doctor. And so she's been doing these little loops, figuring out the house, and she still just walks right in the walls. She goes upstairs all the time, but getting back down is a little more like, I can't. But I can get up here easily. I'm like, quit going up there. The issue is she's be like, this thing's like where I should pee at, and she'll just pee anywhere. So I've been cleaning up piss everywhere at any and all times. And it's like, baby, I love you to death, but I do not like that you just be like, thrice today. Like, here I am sitting. My dog walked right next to me, like I could pet her. I reach down like, oh, you are peeing. Just taking a leak right next to me.
Well,
yeah, this is it, bro. That's where I pee at right now.
Well, I guess she gotta pee near something familiar, and you're the familiar thing.
It seems to be, but I just wish she'd walked a few more feet that way to the puppy pad and pee in that corner over there where she is set up to pee.
Maybe you need to rub your arm on the pee pad before you lay it down, or you like.
So, you are speaking more truth than you know. I've been reading up on it, and they were like, what you want to do is put little light scents so they know where shit's at, because they got to work with that nose. And so they said, like, maybe a little lemon scent. So I'm going to try I got to find something that fits that bill. And, like, just try to hit the corners of things and places with lemon so she knows not to come running into that at full tilt. And I need to figure out something that says, come here to use the bathroom. And like I said, I'll research it further and I'll figure it out. And she's fine. Right here. Alcove, sleeping her little butt off. Moved her bed over because she still moves her little dog bed. Moved it right next to the vent and is sleeping like a baby right here. And she's otherwise fine. She still plays and runs around, has been jipping and jumping, not as much as she used to. Like I said, she is definitely, you can tell she's kind of feeling it. But we got her down 2 pounds. So that she's at a proper weight for her age and her diabetes situation. And we've been feeding her right. And she hadn't been snacking between, you know what I'm saying? So been taking decent care of her. Like I said, now we know what her insulin amount should be. So we ordered some more of that. I ordered some more of that today. And so that's what's up. And like I said, I've been reading about people like, oh yeah, man, my dog went blind and lived another 5 years after that. And I'm like, I am hopeful. I need her to make it in November so I can throw her quinceañera. Her a little dress with a crown, and I can look, and that can be dope. So we are hopeful that we can get her up to, at least to there, and hopefully many years after that if possible. But if not, at least to there. And yeah, like I said, I told you about Lee. I told you Lee got a gig. Gonna be working at the pool. Xander's car situation. Xander told me Xander's like, oh man, me and my lady are going to the Poconos next weekend. I'm like, wow. I'm like, shit, that's fly as fuck, my man. And so that's that he is doing well in life, man. Just vibing, and I love it for him. And I like they been, they little tucking their dough away and doing their little thing together, and I like that, man. So everybody's Vanessa's doing good. She the new job made her official full time. She'd been working like their version of part time, which is pretty close to full time with just extra hours, but now she's officially full time, so everything's OT now. And just been crushing it. Been having a good. She herself has said she's been feeling the job and doing real well at it. And so I fuck with that. So the family is running well. Like I said, only disappointing thing right now is the potential for me to this eclipse to be covered in cloud cover, and like I said, who knows? We will see what the world brings us here over the next few days, and I remain hopeful. And if not, I remain with a full tank of gas, which, you know what I'm saying? and a toll transponder that I already paid for, so it's all to the good, you know. That's what's calculating over this ways, man. Box, absolutely nothing, sir. Like, you know what I mean, that you care or anything.
I mean, it's been pretty quiet. I mean, I
Same.
played
I truly
Pokemon Go. I've been, I played Call of Duty. I worked. I had bowling on Monday. It's been typical. Like, I haven't done anything outside the norm. Nothing crazy's happened. Like, I went over to my dad's for Easter.
Tell me about that. I do want to know about that, and I'd like to talk about Easter with y'all guys. So I realize it's just with your dad.
It was rather uneventful. Other than like, I went over there. We had dinner. Like, it was just they made. So here's the thing about my family is like, my siblings will complain because they want things their way, and they don't like this. They like that. They don't like we have to have croissants and rolls because we can't just have one or the other because someone's gonna cry. Same thing like with the meat. Like, we had a brisket, we had turkey, and we had ham.
It's too much.
Because someone won't eat the one, and the other one won't eat the other. And so it's like they appease everybody just by having one of each.
Okay.
And then, we had corn. My sister made this dish that, like, I described as something an 8-year-old would make on, like, one of those internet shows where, like, you remember, like, there was, the Mythical Kitchen thing where like they brought in like their niece and nephew or whatever, and they were just putting together all kinds of random shit with like off like kitchen ingredients. And it's like, I think we should put cereal with peanut butter and marshmallows and gummy bears and pickles, like that kind of shit, So like my sister brought this dish where it was cheese, pineapples, crackers crumbled up with butter. It ended up being like some sort of wonky ass cobbler, but it was actually like all right. Like I ate 2 slices of it.
That's some 50s housewife shit right there. She came through.
Yeah, I don't know where it came, like the recipe came from, but it was like, and it looked weird as fuck. Like when you like cut into it with the spoon, but it tasted all right.
I'm sorry. What were the ingredients? I want to see if I can make it happen.
It was like shredded cheese, pineapple slices, like Toll House, like our Ritz crackers, like crumbled up with like butter or something. They said it almost looked like a pineapple cobbler.
Classic pineapple casserole. Pineapple casserole. Everybody refers to it as pineapple casserole.
Yeah, that was what they said was pineapple casserole. That was what they called it.
I'm gonna pull up a picture and show it to you viewers right quick, and Box, you can let us know if this is kind of what it looked like. Share my screen. Kind of in that vein.
Yeah, give or take. I mean, like theirs was in a clear Pyrex, so you could see like the sides. There was like shredded cheese underneath, like pineapples, and then like the crackers would like mix with the butter on top or whatever.
I wonder what the cheese is doing. What does that bring to it? Yeah. This one kind of.
I mean, all I can say is like it sounds like some white people shit, and it is, but it was okay. Like the cheese and the pineapples. I mean, like I eat pineapple on pizza, so like I wasn't really like pressed by that. It was just I wasn't like I never heard of it before, so when they told me, I was like, the fuck. And then I ate, and I was like, okay, you're onto something here. This isn't so bad.
Did you know where she found this? Like where she just bumped into this recipe at?
I don't know. They didn't say, and I didn't ask. I should have, but yeah, I was just kind of taken back by what I was eating that I didn't think to go further.
So basically, the Ritz and the butter make a streusel on top of this pineapple situation. Like I said, I want to know what the damn cheese is doing. What are you bringing to the table, sir? So that's interesting to me.
And it's clearly on all like a bunch of these pictures that you're looking at here. Like it's on that one ingredient list. It's in that picture. Like it's here.
Yeah. I was going to ask, have y'all ever had? I've seen it. I've never eaten it. Ambrosia salad. That's some things that show up at black events. I don't know if white folk eat it.
It sounds familiar. Like, describe it, please.
Pineapple again, marshmallows. It seems like it's got to be a green
I've had
Jell-O
that.
situation.
That's exactly what I was thinking of when you said it. Yeah, that I've had that before.
Yeah,
I've seen it in a lot of buffets before.
Yeah.
But then some people do they run this little thing. They use the rainbow marshmallows. I've oftentimes seen people mix it up with, and I'm like, what is going on with everything about that? Is look, I love pineapple. I love cherries. I'm okay with marshmallows, not fond of them. Well, whatever you are mixing that together with has never.
I used to see that shit at Hometown Buffet all the time.
Man, if I was a rich man, and I don't know about because me and Spud was just talking about like, man, like you grew up in the wrong time because like taking you to a Hometown Buffet, you would be a pig and shit, boy. Like, like it's everything. Like, especially if you go to the right one, like, man, you can get pizza, you get pasta, you can make tacos. I'm like, you were born at the wrong time because literally last time I went to a Hometown Buffet, we dropped you off at grandma's house and Emery wasn't even thought of yet.
So you see this recipe is pineapple, mandarin oranges, maraschino cherries, coconut. I had to have eaten this because I gotta remember that. Marshmallows, heavy cream, which basically you're making whipped cream with, and then sugar and then sour cream for tang, which I don't like tang per se. That's why I don't like yogurt. So
I don't think
why was it green in some situations though? What's going on with the green version?
Maybe those green maraschino cherries. I don't know. But yeah, we were thinking
Ambrosia
about
Watergate salad is what they call this. And let's see if we can figure out so I don't really want to be on your mailing list, and I'd like to close that, whatever that is, that made you take my screen over. Come on. I want to know what the recipe is. Why is this green? Oh, they use pudding in this recipe. Pistachio pudding.
Nuclear pistachio.
That's the one that I recall being whatever. I absolutely hate pistachio pudding. Love me a pistachio. Pistachios are wonderful, delicious little nut situation. But pistachio pudding, pistachio ice cream, those things are gross.
Yeah, we were thinking about doing a picnic for the solar event. Like like we watched it, watched the shit in the air, and then like, hey, let's eat so we can let traffic go away.
Hear about the Sun Chips has some official Eclipse chips that you can only buy on Monday.
Oh shit! So we go to Mark's and like, hey! Now you make sure you get these today because we throwing these out tomorrow.
I think you got to order them online or whatever, so I can't call it. So
it's a lot of restaurants doing Eclipse stuff.
Yeah, I saw Jack Frost is making an Eclipse donut. Krispy Kreme has an Eclipse donut. Somebody, Sonic has an Eclipse
drink
beverage. Mason's is doing the Eclipse shake this weekend. They said they're closed Monday, but you can get it this weekend if you want to, have an Eclipse. So a lot of people are doing Eclipse themed little snackage. But what'd you do for Easter, Aunt?
Easter, Libya. So I cooked, of course. Not of course, but
why not? Of course, you are the one who cooks.
I didn't make I didn't cook yesterday. My partner made some chili. And I was like, okay, see you later. But yeah, this was my stipulation. I'm like, look, either we gonna make like a casserole, like a simple blackly blam, all in one pot. That's it, or a small meal. But we couldn't figure out what protein we were gonna have, so I just made a meatloaf. Like I made a larger meatloaf. Macaroni and cheese, yams.
Can I get to them?
And fresh corn. That was Like she picked all the sides and I picked the main, the protein, and then also they love store-bought rolls, not the sweet ones you guys like, but the taken bakes. But I couldn't find none of those. So it was this lady that looked like Alice from one of them shows on the package. And it was like, these is Parker rolls.
I know about Parker rolls. Yeah, Parker rolls are very
Yeah, they were too sweet for me, but you know.
And the show was called Alice. So I mean,
the lady from the
maid
story
from
of a lovely the Brady Bunch. Yeah, she looked like her on the package.
I thought she was talking about there's a new girl in town and I'm feeling good. Alice.
No, not the one that's based on a Scorsese movie. No, not that.
Well, man, Vic Tayback. Is that a Scorsese movie?
Alice doesn't live here anymore. It turned to Alice.
That's crazy.
Like Alice was in the diner slamming people's head in the oven, like, you motherfucker.
I liked MASH the movie more than MASH the TV show. Also, I like knowing the theme song is actually called "Suicide is Painless."
Yes, I haven't watched that movie, but I'm sure it's on Tubi though. Yeah.
So normally your boy don't do not a damn thing for Easter because I'm just it's just not my faith journey, so I don't get down to get down. But the day before Easter was when Vanessa and her family took her grandma off for her birthday, which means finally, Box, the flour has been delivered. And she got her 2 10-kilo sacks of flour. And then I was the star of the goddamn show, and I had to show up for Easter. It was he better be here. And I was like, you know how to fuck with this. But Vanessa wasn't feeling good this weekend, but I was like, hey, familiar obligation. I'll just do it. The kids weren't going to be with us. They had to go to do their grandma's and Aunt Tammy. So I was like nothing to it. But then it's like Sunday and I'm sitting there like, I can't go over there empty handed. So I'm like, let me go get the stuff to make a mac and cheese right quick. So I go do that, and Vanessa hits me up and like, hey, you come here and rub my back. And I'm like, I'm not there. I'm getting macaroni and cheese stuff to take your mom. She's like, we going? I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? You told me we was. She goes, no, I don't feel good. And I was thinking we just going to say fuck it. I'm like, we can't say fuck it. It's an obligation. Plus, I just bought all this shit. We are going. So I whipped the macaroni and cheese. It's fire as always because I'm very good at what I do. It really was good. And I didn't even really put the cheese down on it. It's just basically, it was cheddar. I got the shreds, but I did what the internet and it told me to do. Rinse off the cellulose powder so you get a better melt. Work like a champ. And I also got some Munster and some extra sharp white New York.
Man,
and I shredded those myself.
That's some good cheese.
Yeah. And I like Munster because the way it has a nice little melt. And then of course on the top of it I put some slices of American because I like the way it browns nicely. It looks nice.
Shredded your own cheese is just such a game changer. That's what like Aiden does here now. Like when we like use cheese for like tacos and shit. Yeah, it's just so much better.
And like I said, in most situations I shred some bricks, but like I said, this was a last minute situation, and so I knew to clean the cellulose off the pre-shreds, and it worked. It worked very well. It melted very nicely and made a very silky sauce. So I got to give it up to that situation. But I come through with this hot ass, fresh from the oven. Like it was time to go. So that shit was from the oven to the backseat of the car. Never, ever got a chance to cool off. And then Vanessa's grandma, just happy to see me, but then was like, you made my favorite mac and cheese. Yes. She was so hyped, super hyped for it. So I came through with that. There was a little bit of ham. Just a little pot of ham, some sliced up ham. They already do ham. Some chicken paprikash, a little spätzle to go with that. Some yams. Some cabbage rolls, but with no meat. So I finally could try cabbage rolls. Guess what? Hitting them cabbage rolls was fire.
So what was it like? Cabbage, rice. Oh, just rice and some spices.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's a seasoned rice stuffed in cabbage rolls and then cooked into tomato sauce. And like I said, them shits was fire. I got some in the fridge I've yet to eat, and I probably should get to them. And let's see, Vanessa's grandma made like the grape situation, with some granola and stuff on top of it, and she made lemon meringue pie. Then Vanessa's little sister made a thin minced cheesecake.
Oh.
And a carrot cake. And then her one sister brought a bunny cake. I bought a bunny cake, but a nice one. It was not just like, the bunny cakes from Giant Eagle. It was like a salted caramel joint. You know what I'm saying?
Want some highness.
I had to. I don't know. Brown box. Whoever has the brown box in this town. So, yeah, we did the damn thing, and we ended up playing. It's a version of Uno called like the mean version or the ultimate version. It has all kinds of neat rules and stuff. So I played a couple of hands of that. Just kicked it. Her niece ended up has a class where she has a speech thing where she has to do, and she had to record her speech in front of at least 5 people. She's like, what better time than this? So we all sat around helping her niece get her speech up to about 5 minutes, because it had to be 5 minutes, and we just at first we was only getting about 2.5. And we got it filmed and got her to do a presentation and so forth and so on. It really worked out well, and that was fun to do as a little family kind of thing, So it ended up really working itself out. But yeah, like I said, I don't do Easter. It's not my holiday anymore. And I still buy the kids baskets. Like I said, if you're watching this video, you can see the Easter baskets are right behind me. Actually, Vanessa picked those baskets out. The mushroom, and there's a frog. There we go. It's a frog. And of course, like me and Box had bought a bunch of stuff up north. So they got all the various Kit Katty things I bought up north. Box finally hit the basket, and I believe there's like some Kinder eggs and some Kinder type stuff in those baskets as well. And so that's all. The Easter played out very nicely in over here, man. And so vibes.
I forgot to say one thing. So Emery was like, you know what, Dad? Jesus died, and then he rose again 3 days later for Easter. I'm like, I wanted to say, who the fuck told you that? I don't know where he learned that from to this day. And he told me a couple times, like, yeah, go tell your mother about that. And he told her. So I don't know where he learned that from. He didn't learn it from me.
It's like I laugh because Easter is literally the basis of the Christianity as a faith.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Came through, was murdered, showed back up 3 days later, and kicked it for a while longer. That's what Christianity is forged and formed.
Jesus Christ, part 3. Now the bunnies and ducks.
Like I said, because of course, they stole another holiday to make Easter. So it's just like I say, all these things is stolen valor. So it's like it's wild how that works out. But like I said, that is how the faith is founded. And I know it is a big deal, but it never seemed as big a deal as Christmas, right? Christmas, they really. But of course, Christmas is based on a party ass holiday that has held its own all these hundreds of years.
Yeah, I'll never forget, like, when I was on my own, and I had my apartment. I was like, man, you know what I'm gonna do? I mean, I'm off today. I ain't doing shit. Let me go get me. I was like, I'm gonna go to Applebee's. And but before I tell this story, what restaurant did y'all find out wasn't fancy until y'all got older? Because Applebee's is that restaurant for me. I didn't know it wasn't fancy.
What do you mean Applebee's is fancy as fuck?
When you really realize that Red Lobster ain't shit?
Well, Red Lobster still is on that tier of being a pretty good to nice restaurant, because you do get free shit right when you get in the door. You do get free biscuits. Like with Applebee's, I just knew it was like, man, you can get a steak there. You get it's a place to get drinks. I'm just thinking until because the first date I ever took a woman on was the Applebee's, because I had to find out. I was just like, bitch, we going here. ain't no in between. We going to Applebee's, so I need to find out what Applebee's is about.
Fair.
And Applebee's is also the first place I ever heard of somebody say, I want all flats. I was like, what? You can do that?
You can do that? Anyway, never mind. So plotting, scheming, that's what's up, people. That's what it's been, and that is the adventures in our lives this week. Hope you enjoyed hearing about them. Let's keep motherfucking moving. So what you do every week, we head over to the recently added to the stock market Reddit. We head to the subreddit Am I the Asshole? And we decide if people are assholes or not. And oftentimes we disagree with Reddit, and we be having some wild ass takes ourselves some days. So here are the three I pulled for you this week, gentlemen. You let me know which one is which one, and what is going on here? Why is that? It's because I had to pull that. I'm like, why is this glowing blue? It's because I had to pull it to copy the link into our notes, so you, the listener, can have it to check over yourself if you are so inclined. Am I the asshole for not letting my wife hijack a free vacation? Am I the asshole for refusing to share my inheritance with my father's new children? Am I the asshole for not wanting to sleep over my friend's dorm after she caused me to spend the night in jail?
That one sounds like a banger. What do you think, Lunch?
Yeah, that's fine.
This dude really working tonight.
I mean, he's going to read all of them anyway, so, what am I going to do? Argue with the order?
I got a call. Hold on. Yes, that your claim is verified. Okay, yeah.
That is where we set it off at, then. I'm the asshole for not wanting to sleep over my friend's dorm after she caused me to spend the night in jail. I, male 21, have a friend I've known for about 4 years, female 22. Recently, she just got out of a year-long abusive relationship and hasn't been taking it the best. Last Friday, after we took her dog for a walk and got something to eat for dinner, I don't know why you added that part. Something to eat probably could have sufficed, but whatever. She asked me to stay the night at her apartment to keep her safe and secure since she was feeling upset. I could tell she was having a hard time with the breakup, and it wouldn't be the first time I stayed over to comfort her, so I was okay with it. Comfort. Usually she talks or moves a bit in her sleep when she has nightmares, but last weekend she had a full-on night terror. She sat straight up and started full-on screaming, "He's going to hurt me," over and over again. I tried to calm her down, but her roommate heard the screaming and called the police. Fuck. When they got there, she still wasn't coherent, and all she could say was, "He's going to hurt me, stay away," or something to that extent. I didn't even have a chance to explain what was happening. They detained me and had me spend the night in jail. It wasn't, fuck off. It wasn't until the afternoon after they released me. Wait a minute, that's what you wrote? It wasn't until the afternoon after when they released me. I mean, that's written like that. I was hoping it was going to go somewhere else, but that is where he wrote. He got released the next afternoon. Far too much. A night in jail up until the next day. No. I had to talk with her after. What? She said she was having flashbacks to when her ex would get into fights and couldn't help it after repeatedly apologizing. Fast forward to yesterday. I hadn't really talked to her much this week at all. She asked me if I'd like to go to the bar with her this weekend with a couple of her girlfriends and spend the night again. I told her I wasn't comfortable at all after last weekend, then asked if one of them could spend the night with her, especially if there's alcohol involved too. She said I was the only person she trusted and was comfortable enough to sleep in the same bed with for security. I don't know if I like that. I told her again I wasn't comfortable with the idea, and she hasn't texted me since. I tried my best to be there to help, even getting her therapy for other reasons. What? But I'm not okay with putting my safety at risk. Am I the asshole?
No.
This is crazy, right? All of this thing's crazy, right? Like, I'm not sleeping in nobody's bed just to protect you. I mean, I guess you get to rub his boner up against her butt, you know what I'm saying? So you can at least kind of get, that.
This is, I think that's beyond boner. It sounds, I don't even think I can.
It's making me think of that Gambino song where he's like, Mom had us sleep with Phillips heads under the
Under
pillow.
the pillow. Yeah, it's real.
Yeah, I don't even think I could get one with that. That would be like, hey, I'm gonna sleep on the floor next to you and keep you safe.
No. I'm gonna sleep on the couch out here. Trust me, I'm right here keeping you safe. I'll be nowhere near you because you screaming. Why don't you? Chaos. It's too much. It's far too much. You can tell I didn't actually read this one all the way through because I'm a little bit confused right now, y'all. Sorry. Use that. Sometimes I'll read them too, but like, no, you're not the asshole. If anybody on Reddit says you're the asshole, I'm gonna wonder why.
Yeah, I wonder. This one is so unclear. How the fuck do you go to jail, right? And then
in most states, it is a DV is an immediate arrest situation.
yeah,
Like,
but
it
that's
just
what I'm
is.
saying. Like, so he's in jail. Like, you can't back. You can't. There's no walking that back.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, true. Yeah, he might have. Well, I don't know. You know, unless she presses charges, some states don't.
Okay, I'm just gonna. I think for Ohio, there is no walking that back.
Wow.
Like, you get arrested, she can't be like, oh, I'm so, like you can't do that here. There's no walking that back. Ain't no Two-Face going back in that tube. Like, if you get arrested for domestic violence here, like, the state picks it up. It's not something you press charges on.
Yeah, so this man could be real caught out there, depending on where he at.
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
I don't know how that even works, where it's just like, no, he didn't hit me. Like you were too fucked up to say anything, and he went to jail. So
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know about this. I'm gonna give it the third opinion is that I don't think this is real.
Oh, factual. So, but the only reason I say, you know what makes me think it's real? I'll read you the sentence again. Last Friday, after we took her dog for a walk and got something to eat for dinner, it's one of those extra little details that goes, yeah, that's something somebody would tell you. Eat something to eat for dinner as opposed to something to eat for breakfast or something like this or whatever. It's like, it's an unnecessary detail.
Yeah.
But it's a detail somebody would add right when they were trying to, you know, like, let me explain what would happen, you know? Bugged out. In the comments, not the asshole. You're right not to sleep over again. I can't understand how you sat in jail overnight. Once she was coherent, why didn't she call or go over and explain the situation? Does she take meds for her night terror? I've had a friend with night terrors, scared the hell out of me, but she was coherent after a few minutes. I've never seen an episode last longer than an hour or so. Facts. And that's where the maybe fake comes in.
Yeah, like, I'm sure. I mean, I'm not sure, but like, when the police be like, hey, let's wait till everybody's calmed down in this situation. You sit on the couch here, like, I don't know.
You know, I don't understand how cops work because cops barely understand how cops work most of the time lately. So
That's
can't
true.
trust 12. You know that. What should concern you as well if there is no proof of violence? Proof of violence, sir. He could have smacked her with a bag of oranges. Stop that. Then how do you get locked up? Something is up with the story, like the police can tell when someone is or isn't coherent. Not saying they shouldn't have detained you. That's procedure. But a cop should be able to, what Anthony was just saying, be able to see, okay, there's something wrong with this person. A, there's no marks or signs of violence. Were you charged with DV? In some states, they can't hold you like that without a charge. But to answer your question, no, you should not go over there alone again. I would say, don't speak to this person again. Your relationship is now over. You caught a case off of this that could ruin your life. So, like I said, again, depending on the state.
Ain't no dry humping worth going to jail over.
Let's see if there's a "you're the asshole" in this post, and there's not. So no one thinks this person is the asshole. We don't think this person is the asshole. Box, I'm not to put speak in your mouth, but I don't think you think this person is an asshole. So
no,
yeah, it's a wild time. Oh, excuse me. This one has my interest. I read the first paragraph, and I'm like, or first couple of paragraphs, whatever. Am I the asshole for? Actually, we'll say that for last. That seems like we'll have a good time with that. So let's do this father's inheritance situation. Man, Reddit will let you think everybody in mama's inherited large sums of money from multiple parents because it's always something that comes up. Like it's a fucking soap opera on Reddit. Am I the asshole for refusing to share my inheritance with my father's new children? My father is an only child. My grandmother and grandfather were kind of disappointed with how he chose to live his life after high school. He wasted a bunch of his time and their money pursuing courses of study he didn't have any real interest in. They made sure he graduated debt-free, and they left him to his own devices. When he married my mom, they helped pay for the wedding and gave them a down payment for their home. My mom and dad spent the next 20 years goofing off. When I was born, I was pretty much given to my grandparents to raise. My maternal grandparents helped me as much as they could, but they are back in Argentina. So I was basically raised as my dad's little brother, not as his kid. My grandparents came to my parent-teacher meetings. They attended my sporting events. They were my parents. My biological mother passed away when I was 12. I found out weeks later since my dad didn't bother telling anyone.
Oh, shit.
I said this shit seems so proper. Come on, man. This is a novella. They had already paid for my... when I was 25, my grandparents got taken within 2 months of each other. My grandfather went last, and his will, he left my dad $50 and he left the ASPCA $50,000. I got the rest. They had already paid for my education. I thanked them and was planning on paying them back once my career got going. Now I have a huge old house and a rather nice nest egg. I'm 35. My fiance and I are about to start our family. My dad calls me out of the blue and says he is remarried. News to me, and that his wife is expecting. I congratulate him, not knowing what else to do. And he said, obviously, my grandparents would want their grandchildren to share equally in their estate. He said, I need to talk to the lawyers and see about setting up a trust fund for this new kid and any future kids. Again, this is a novella. I said that I was not splitting my inheritance, and that was his job as a parent to provide for his children. Facts. He tried saying that his parents hadn't provided for him. I asked him about his debt from 7 years of university. I asked him about the money for his wedding. I asked about his mortgage, and I asked him if he could please provide me with the information about how much he paid toward my education, how much he helped me when I first brought my home, what he gave me toward my wedding. For the record, he got us a sweet stand mixer, forgive me. He said that he didn't have the kind of money his parents had. I asked him how much he earned at his job. He said that he worked to live, not lived to work. That was something he always said to my grandfather. It really hit home with me. He has spent his entire life on easy mode. I told him that if he is a competent father and his new kids finish high school, I will help them get an education. He said he needs money now. I asked him why. My unborn half-sibling needed money. It turns out my dad hasn't been paying his taxes. I offered to buy his house and rent it back to him. He said I was being an asshole like his dad and was trying to control him with money. Well, my wife is with me. She thinks I was harsh and that his kid deserves a leg up. All right, look, if this is real, and trust me again, I think this would make a fine episode of like I'm saying, something on something on Telemundo or something on what's the other one? Telemundo and Univision. Yeah. A fine production on there about my Argentinian grandparents and maternal grandparents, and my father, who's a layabout, a shiftless layabout, who's now making children well past the time he should be, that he has a 35-year-old whatever, child. So no, man, you're not the asshole, but chill out, man. Don't.
He being a little bit. He's not an asshole, but he definitely a dick. Like, oh yeah, I'll rent it out to. I'll rent your house out to you. Like,
bro, that's dope. If you gonna gonna pay my taxes for me right quick, my nigga. Just do that. We'll be straight. I mean, like that. And if you trying to really put me on cop the crib for me, cool, man. We can do that. Buy the house for me.
You can buy the house and then do one of those like rent to buy things.
Yeah, we glorious. Because if you buy the house, then I got some dough in my pocket. I can pay the rent off. Then I got a little dough. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what you buy it for. You're saying we can get this popping. It's actually kind of like a lightweight loan situation at that point.
It's kind of like
I rent it back to you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying that plan sounds smart to me. It's like my man knows what's up. And I'm like, yeah, I fuck with that, man. I fuck with the ideal of it. So, but nah, you're not no asshole other than that, man. But like Ant said, you can not be an asshole and still be a dick. Right now, you a bit of a dick. So I'm gonna add that to the list. That's our new that I'm gonna forget right after I say it. But like I said, if I remember it, I like to add that to the situation. Not the asshole, but yes, a dick. That's what's up. This last one, I don't know. The ideal of it seems hilarious to me. Let's see if it actually is funny or is it sad. Am I the asshole for not letting my wife hijack a free vacation? One of my 39 male hobbies is entering raffles, sweepstakes, radio contests, etc. I've won tickets to concerts, sporting events, some household items, gift cards, but never a grand prize like a car or vacation until last month when I won a free trip for 4 people to Florida for 5 nights. Obviously, I was super excited, told my wife, 38 female, about it right away. After our initial excitement wore off, we started talking about details. It became apparent that we had conflicting ideas about this trip. Before I could even make a suggestion about what I want this trip to be, my wife brought up how excited her 11-year-old daughter would be and how we could go to Disney, SeaWorld, etc. She then said that we can bring her mom to help watch her daughter so that we would have some time for ourselves. She was so excited about it and getting wrapped up in planning things without even hearing what I wanted. I told her that all sounds like fun, but I was thinking we could invite another couple and have it be an adult-only trip instead of bringing my stepdaughter and mother-in-law with. She did not like my idea one bit, and she told me that she wouldn't feel right taking a free trip like that and leaving her daughter behind. She also said that her mom has never been to Florida, and that would be a perfect opportunity for her to go there. We argued back and forth for a little bit before deciding to take a break and come back to it before telling anyone about it. Well, that lasted 24 hours before my wife let it slip to her daughter that I had won a trip. So, of course, my stepdaughter immediately got excited about it and started looking into all the things she wants to do. I asked my wife why she told my daughter, and she said it was an accident, which, come on. Nice. That's how I felt. So there you go. It started a fight between us, and emotions got a little high. I told her she was wrong for bringing her daughter into this after we agreed to wait, and that I never agreed to take her stepdaughter or mother-in-law on this trip. I told her that I was the one who won the trip, and she was acting like it was something specifically for her. She told me I was being selfish, and that we should include those closest to us for something like this, especially when neither stepdaughter or mother-in-law have been to Florida. Florida's like, oh, Florida. Anyway, she said that bringing another couple and leaving her daughter at home would be cruel, especially now that she's excited about it. I told her that her daughter is only excited about it because she decided to blab to her instead of waiting like we agreed. I told her she wants to bring her daughter and mother-in-law that she can also pick someone else to go with because I would rather stay at home by myself, go to vacation go on a vacation where I don't get to be involved in any decisions. I said if she wants to go that route, she certainly can, but I'm not paying for any of it. We have separate finances. Y'all probably shouldn't be together. Now she's thinking I'm being a jerk and should be happy about having a free family trip.
It never was a family trip.
Asshole. He knows.
I feel like this might be another. Might not be an asshole, but you a dick.
But you're a dick. Faux show.
Yeah, she messed up by telling her daughter. But I don't know. You're just taking it a little bit too far, Broseph. Just like I understand, when you marry that person, like you kind of like that's your daughter now, right? I mean, I don't.
Why? Look, agree here. It's kind of weird to leave the daughter out when you married to her mom. She's 11. Mommy's going on a trip to Florida. Like, damn, you married this woman, OP. She has a kid. It's not an adult. Man up. I'd offer to bring one male friend and the mother-in-law can stay home. But to be honest, I wouldn't want to be the male friend in that situation. So your mileage may vary. Just literally the words you were saying were coming out of this man's mouth. So there you go. So
I mean,
that's why
I feel like if you don't want to bring the mother-in-law, I get that. So how about you bring one of the 11-year-old's friends and her mom? No, hold on. But then the parent of the other person, they got to pay you.
oh, for shizzle do.
So they don't get a free trip, but then your kid gets a free trip. That makes more sense to be like, I don't know. Maybe a friend of the family, because I do get it. The mother-in-laws ain't all that great sometimes, buddy boy. Like, what can you do?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, bro. It's his vacation. He wanted. This is what he does. He wins trips, or he wins things. In this case, he won a trip. I get him wanting to have some say over it because he did win it. So it is weird that she just made plans. Literally was like, I'm doing this whole thing sans any input from you. Like, bruh, what's that? What part of the game is that?
Brother,
so that is where I can.
Brother.
That's where I don't think he's an asshole, but he is being a dick on that whole like this. It's just not worth. Ooh, let's see. The OP has spoken out.
Oh,
info. You talk about your wife and daughter. Is that not your stepdaughter? Are you married to your wife? This whole thing reads like you're not really a part of your own family, and it's weird. And the OP responds, yes, she's my stepdaughter, and I did refer to her that way in the post. Not sure why so many people are hung up on the phrasing and using it to try and infer any deeper meaning into our lives other than word choice. My stepdaughter and I get along fine, and I love her. But that doesn't mean I want to spend a trip waiting in lines at Disney and Universal. This trip isn't even to Orlando. It's to Fort Myers. I have no idea what the distance is.
You should have said that.
So getting to Disney will require a lot more work than my wife thinks it will. Okay, fair. What's there to do in Fort Myers, Florida?
I don't know, but he should have led with that. That's even more of a dick move. Like, instead of being like, hey man, it's in Fort Myers, which is an hour and 45 minutes away. It would be.
Where the fuck is Orlando? Okay, so here we can just put Fort Myers
To Orlando.
Yeah, we'll throw it in the old Fort Myers to Orlando, which actually just almost auto populates. It is legit at 3 hours away.
Yeah, that's like going to Columbus just on a whim. Like, so yeah, explain that, man. Like, instead of being like, hey, Fort Myers is pretty much where people swing at, baby. That's why we need two couples.
Yeah, it's over on the Gulf of Mexico side of Florida.
Okay. And
and it just seems to be a part of a national park situation. It's like lakes and stuff around there. So yeah.
It's straight up and down like an adult trip. It really wouldn't be for kids. It'd be like being on one of those speedboats watching gators in the mud while you got a beer in your hand.
Yes, that's exactly what the vibe is. It would seem to be in Fort Myers. So, man, let's click my man's name and see what else he has said in this post. I didn't even think to do that. I hadn't. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna click this one because he getting snippy.
Mm.
If by compromise you mean my wife gets exactly what she wants, what are you responding to? I want to know what you're responding to that. Honestly, at this point, I would sell your tickets and deposit the cash in your bank account. That is a move.
Yeah,
I don't know what he was
this is
responding
definitely
to.
a situation where, like, explaining a little bit more instead of like you being an asshole by saying not explaining yourself. Like, hey, I want a trip to Fort Myers. Guess what? Orlando is 3 hours away. That's a whole nother trip. That is legit a whole nother trip.
He also wrote, yes, she knows the destination of the trip, so she does know it's Fort Myers.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think she grasps how big Florida is and how much of a hassle it would be to get to Orlando from Fort Myers. Even for just one day, I think she just heard Florida and her mind immediately went to Disney. So that was show parent comment. There we go. I want to see the. Okay, so that actually is from the stepdaughter. All these comments is he is making in that same little line of posts. So that's what's going on with that dude. Hey, yeah, that's what it is. Not an asshole, but a dick. That's 2 of those this week, and that's what's up, man. That is our visit to the subreddit Emma the Asshole this week. I hope you enjoyed that. We do it all the time. It's a good time to be had. Each week we try to share with you our entertainment of the week, and he got a list, y'all. So let's start with things I have watched. Lisa Frankenstein. Written by Diablo Cody, directed by Robin Williams' daughter Zelda Williams. Fantastic. It's on the cock. You can watch it over on Peacock. It takes place in the 80s. It's Beetlejuice-esque. That kind of horror comedy situation.
I've been wondering what Diablo Cody been up to.
Sprinkle in a little bit of Heather's, little murder, you know what I'm saying? So don't get it twisted, it goes down. And I think it truly is a delight. And I think critics was on some bullshit the way they reviewed it. It has been poorly reviewed, and I think they just don't get how dope it is. I truly think they just were disrespectful of it. You should watch Lisa Frankenstein. Fantastic movie. X-Men 97 goes so hard. I'm not joking. I'm not kidding. I'm not being facetious. I'm telling you right now, it is so much better than it has any fucking right to be. It is so well written. Storm this week laid it out on my man. It was like, what did she say? You have made me a fool. And I was like, and she said it like on some smack the fire out of my nigga too. And she said that it was definitely some Angela Bassett, like, what you call it type shit. You know what I'm saying? Set the car on fire kind of
Wait
deal.
to exhale.
Yeah, it was. I know what the voice actress was channeling when she said that. It was so good, man. And it's so well written. It's such interesting stories. It's, again, I repeat to you, it's dope to have X-Men back. Just is. I very much missed them, and it's good to have them back. I am playing Spider-Man 2 on PlayStation 5. It's a damn good game, y'all. It's a damn good game. I at first was like, I don't like the way they telling this Venom story, and then almost all of it makes perfect sense now. So just stick in a different person instead of Eddie Brock for Venom, and everything else is working. And you got Miles Morales swinging around New York too, so you know what I'm saying. So you kind of get your Venom story after that, and it's playing out just like that. So that's very, very, very fun so far. I've had a very good time with that game. Here's what I'm listening to, and it's a lot. And so we're gonna go through it a bit by bit. The Future Metro Boomin album has a song on it featuring Kendrick Lamar. It's called "Like That," where he, with no qualms about it, this is the dog shit out of Drake, and kind of this is J. Cole, but really, this gun is aimed directly at Drake. And I sent a TikTok earlier where a gentleman breaks down some hip hop history and basically like, Drake been a bitch and remains a bitch, and here's why. And it's like Drake never really gets in nobody. They basically point out how Drake has only once really gotten somebody's ass, and that was Meek Mill. And he goes, but when real rappers get at Drake get up on stage speechifying, and me and Devin was talking about it, and Devin called that man, what he called it? He said he up there, Drake Luther King, basically trying to speechify his way out of it. And that's basically what it has been. I guess back in the day, I didn't even know this. And did you know that Common and Drake got into it over Serena Williams?
Yes. I think they actually it was an actual fight.
Yeah. I did not know that. I did not know it happened. Was unaware that it had been some diss tracks back written. And basically, like I said, the TikTok I sent you, my man points out that Common really, really lit Drake up. And what was Drake's response? Again, speechifying. Pusha T lit Drake up. Y'all know the story I had not. What was Drake's response? Speechify. It's what he does when he really gets got by an MC who can get him. he doesn't really try to diss back. And I don't know what made me. I guess that tells you the level that Meek Mill must have been at in Drake's mind. But that's the only one he done really kind of got in and got at. And people are like, he'll do a little sneak this years from now, and everybody in mom will say it's the greatest thing ever. But he won't really address this, and he won't, because if he does, like I said, had he addressed Pusha T had already told you Surgical Summer. Like he knew he had more shit in store, so he was like, let me just shut the fuck up, because this man must know something.
I'm selfish. I want
and
all
the same
of the
thing
curses.
I think for Kendrick. Yeah.
So it was pretty interesting when Delvin was like, Drake is where everybody think Logic is, and that really cracked me up.
Yeah. So I initially did not. I was like, I don't know if I fuck with this. And then I just kept hearing it, and I'm like, yeah, that beat is doing something.
Man, Metro Boomin, not only does he have like one of the best tags of all time, if Young Metro don't trust you, I'm gonna shoot you.
I'm gonna shoot you.
Yeah, I sent you another video of what Metro Boomin.
Talking about Father, I Stretch My Hands, which is your joint.
I love that song.
I know. So
it's Metro Boomin is pretty great. I don't really mess with Future, but I wouldn't mind listening to that whole album.
It ain't bad, and that's because it's all Metro production. So. And basically that whole album is a diss to Drake, and that particular song is
track for track. Like compared to I think Drake's last album, every name is like if it's like peanut butter, this jelly nigga. It's pretty brilliant, and it's like, I mean, listen to the last episode of kind of like Omar's because they're pretty much like you guys said, they're. Like everybody has chosen sides. Like people have unfollowed each other on that's always the big thing. Oh, Rick Ross unfollowed Drake on Instagram and Twitter or X. Like people are like unfollowing each other. It's like Metro Boomin is fucking with The Weeknd now, making music with him. Like they just going. He's going after everybody. Like so, Drake has no allies.
Yeah.
A Metro Boomin track with Pusha T would be so good.
Oh my God! Don't make the dream. Oh man! Next up is this is our vinyl of the week. Released for the first time on vinyl. It's A$AP Rock's Daylight EP. Now I have another copy of this. I wish I would have grabbed it off the shelf. That is basically a maxi single on vinyl. 3 songs. It's Daylight, Nightlight, and Pocket Full of Nickels. But this is the entire EP of Daylight, pressed up for the first time, and it's on what I would describe to you as absolutely gorgeous.
Oh.
AB blue vinyl, blue and orange vinyl. And what I find to be the neatest is right here, you can't see it, but it's called a locked track, meaning the needle can't just get to it without you lifting the needle and dropping it. There's a bonus track on this vinyl, and it's one, I know this track already. I know this EP back and forth, but it's like I said, it had never been released on vinyl before. It's absolutely gorgeous. There's also a nighttime variant that sold out immediately, and I really want a copy of it. And I should probably kind of look into what it's going for, because it's like purple, if you will, and purple and blue on the vinyl. And I posted this on the Reddit. I'm in a Reddit called Hip Hop Vinyl, and somebody in there responded, "Hey, could you hold up a light to that record so I can see what it looks like with a light behind it?" Where is that flashlight? I usually got a flashlight right here. Well, you know what? I got my phone's flashlight. I need to do that for you right quick. See if it shows up on camera. But it's kind of gorgeous with the light behind it. And I was like, and I messaged the dude back, or responded in the thread. I was like, you just added a new tick to how I'm going to do my photo photography going forward. I'm definitely going to take pictures with a light behind it, because I got this light, my fill light right here, my key light right here, and I just held it up to that, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I'll send y'all the picture of that, you can kind of get an idea what it looks like, but it's like absolutely gorgeous. I'm like, do it for certain records. I feel like that will really add to the pictures I take of it. So that's that. Schoolboy Q. I'd already started kind of listen to the album because off a chocolate recommendation, but in particular the song Ohio featuring Freddie Gibbs off his new album Blue Lips. Chef's Kiss. That's a dope ass song, and you should listen to it. Plus, it's called Ohio. Come on, people. You know I had to give you love to it.
I absolutely love Freddie Gibbs.
Yes, love Freddie Gibbs, fucking Schoolboy, and like I said, them two coming together on a dope ass track. Fuck with it. You should be listening to Ohio, my man Schoolboy Q. Last but not least, I am listening to and enamored by in a way that I totally and I think I find unexpected. In love with this Cowboy Carter album, Beyonce's quote country album, which I actually think is more of a
cover.
I feel like it is much more of a it's a look at pop music all together. You know what I'm saying? And I think yes, it has a lot of country in it, but I also think it has some other versions of pop music throughout it. And I think it's more of like more should be looked at like that.
Yeah, I think of it more as a cover album.
She only has two covers though.
What Blackbird and Jolene?
Yeah.
Okay.
So not really a cover album, like I said, but I feel like it's like I said, I feel like it's maybe like a like I said, Beyonce saying, I can make you, yes, I can easily is me being a little too whatever. I can do country music because yes, I can, because country music is a part of our lexicon as well. But also I can do these other things. And I know you're like, oh, cool. You like this Beyonce album? No. I was listening to Blackbird. So, which is a Beatles song, Paul McCartney wrote it. And she has all these black country artists on that song with her. One of them, what we spoke about before, Tanner Adele. And I looked at that and I was just like, yo, that's so dope. And I'm smiling and I literally started tearing up a little bit because I'm like, it's like happy. I'm like, I'm so happy that she got all these dope you know what I'm saying, black country artists, you know what I'm saying, she putting on so they can get some shine and blow up hopefully even more, you know what I'm saying? But Blackbird goes right into 16 Carriages, which was one of the two songs she released at the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. And I love 16 Carriages. We talked about it on the show before. You know, so most people was on Texas Hold'em, and I fucked Texas Hold'em the long and the short way, don't get it twisted. But 16 Carriages was a very beautiful song to me. And bruh, it went from me being like little happy tears to celebrating Tanner Adele and all these other ladies to me weeping to 16 Carriages because it's such a beautiful song, and those two together make for a powerful combination. I was like, yeah, that was crazy, man. We are driving to Easter Sunday to Vanessa's mom's house. I'm like, fuck, we gonna play all the Beyonce as we drive. It happened again, which means this is like Endgame, where I'll be crying every time where on your left and Avengers Assemble starts up. It's one of the things where it's like, this has that effect on me now. It is that touching to me, and it fucks with me, and I love it. I love that any kind of art can make me do that. It's only a couple of songs that made me cry in life. One of, and this is a 2-song combo right here. So it's the 1-2 of Blackbird and 16 Carriages. It was a song on Jay Electronica's album that had me sitting in the car one day, and it might have been during pandemic. So who knows? There's a lot of things going on that time that had me tear up a little bit. And Kanye West on Jesus King album, Water socked me in my chest, bro. And it's the music in Water, not necessarily the song. The song itself is fine. The music on that shit is gorgeous. And I'm tell you right now, you should probably listen to Water, Kanye West. I know we all don't love Kanye like we used to, but that song right there, something with that track, man, it screams to your boy. But I want to talk about the Beyonce album. Like I said, I told you I'd have an article here in the entertainment section. It's from CNN, Ali Rosenblum on the byline. Paul McCartney says Beyonce's Blackbird cover reinforces the civil rights message that inspired him to write it. Paul McCartney is singing praises Beyonce's version of Blackbird. The music legend on Thursday wrote on his Instagram page that he's so happy with the Grammy winner's cover of the 1968 Beatles track that it is included on her newly released Act 2 Cowboy Carter album under the slightly revised title Blackbird with 2 eyes. I think she does a magnificent version of it, and it reinforces the civil rights message that inspired me to write the song in the first place, he wrote. He went on to urge anyone who has not heard it yet to check it out. Originally written by McCartney amid the 1960 civil rights movement in the United States, Blackbird was inspired by the Little Rock Nine, a group of black students who were the first to desegregate schools in the 1950s Arkansas. When I saw the footage on television in the early 60s of the black girls being turned away from school, I found it shocking, and I can't believe that still these days there are places where this kind of thing is happening right now, McCartney wrote in his post on Thursday. Anything my song and Beyonce's fabulous version can do to ease racial tension would be a great thing and make me very proud, he added. The powerful message behind the original song adds to the emotional depth of Beyonce's 2024 cover, which is amplified by the voices of 4 up-and-coming black female country artists featuring on the track: Tierra Kennedy, Tanner Adele, Brittany Spencer, and Raina Roberts. McCartney's post on Thursday wrote that he spoke to Beyonce on FaceTime and she thanked him for writing Blackbird and letting her cover it. I told her pleasure is all mine, he wrote. I thought she had done a killer version of the song. So I had heard about that a few days ago, and I think that's kind of what happened to me Sunday. I was just like, then I started thinking about it, like thinking out, he said Blackbird is in, they call girls birds in England. And when he was saying Blackbird, he wrote that song talking about during the Civil Rights Movement. So then like Sunday, like I said, as I'm driving, listening to it, I'm thinking about civil rights and segregation. And then, like I said, that goes into 16 Carriages, which is such a gorgeous song. And like I said, y'all, I think y'all don't know if y'all understand. Like somebody died crying. Bad, ugly crying. There's no way I should be crying that hard off that shit. But it is. It's so good. That's a 1-2 knockout punch, bro. And like I said, that album goes hard. Her version of Jolene is insane. She has this gorgeous song with Miley Cyrus, and they harmonize. So I now realize it's probably harmonizing as in they did, studio work or production or in the mix or something like that. But I actually want to tell you the name of that song. I fuck with that song. Two Most Wanted. Beyonce and Miley Cyrus harmonize again. She got a song with Post Malone. She got Willie Nelson on there doing like a radio announcer kind of vibe for KNTRY country radio. So good. And bruh, it's such a good album. And then Bomani Jones and his buddy Spencer reviewed it today, and they was basically talking, in my opinion, reckless about it. And I was like, all right, it's okay. You don't like. And look, everybody can have an opinion. Just because I love this album don't mean everybody got to love this album. But then there's people who I feel like who go out of their way to just be shitty to it, And I think that's different than not liking an album. Because if you don't like it, you can just be like, hey, it's not for me. And then you've made your point. When you go about wanting to point out why you think it's fucked up and this, that, and the third, I'm like, seems like you're trying to be shitty. And I don't like that. Not an asshole, but a dick. See how that comes back around. But like I said, that's what I've been on. And a lot of people like I don't think Beyonce should make it, or I don't fuck with Beyonce, or people who are like, I've been seeing a lot of people, I love Beyonce, but I hate this album. I'm like, I don't know if you love Beyonce like you think you love Beyonce, because this is a full ass Beyonce album, and I think it's something special. And I'm glad I didn't buy the vinyl, this first vinyl, because apparently this album came in real hot. So there's multiple tracks that are on the the DSP's version. It's not on the vinyl. So I'm certain at some point in the very near future, you're going to get a
deluxe,
or complete, or whatever she'll call it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever she'll end up referring to it as. It's like 27 songs. You know what I'm saying? This album is massive. And so I'm like, cool. I'm glad I was going to order the cause they had red, white, and blue version. I was going to order it, and I just I just kept holding off. And I'm kind of glad I did, because like I said, I truly feel in the end it's going to end up having a complete version that has everything on it. And I'm excited about that idea. Cowboy Carter, amazing. Don't sleep on that shit. So there you go. But y'all watching, listening to, reading, anything this week, gents?
Well, mine is really, really short. Like I said, I was on vacation last week, so I didn't really watch much. But I had this song stuck in my head, and now the whole most of the family has been singing it too. Man, I've been listening to Jennifer Hudson's song Spotlight. I don't know why that song got stuck in my head, or while I needed to hear it, I'm like, man, I got an earwig. I got to get it out. But that's been the song for the last couple of days. So
nice.
That's it.
Fair enough.
I watched last week's episode of X-Men 97. That's about all I've watched.
Y'all both been on some very chill vibes. So for me, X-Men viewing is I have to watch before the internet spoils for me. And this week I didn't make it. The internet had, I saw somebody have a review on YouTube and they had a picture of a character that was on this week's episode. And I was like, sons of bitches.
What day does it come on? Because
Wednesday.
I tried to watch it Tuesday and it wasn't. Okay. Yeah, I tried to watch it Tuesday because I thought it came out Tuesdays and it wasn't there.
Yeah, no, it's a hump day release, so it came out with it. But basically, Vanessa starts her day at like 11:30. She goes to work, and I was like, all right. So, and I'm like, just come down here right quick before you get the day started. Let's watch X-Men. It's like 20 minutes, 22 minutes, whatever the episode is. It's not that long. 30 at the max. And
I think
she sits on the
each
couch.
one has been like 33, but if you don't count like the credits and shit, it's like 26.
Yeah. And so, like I said, she just hops on the couch and I sit over here just working and I kind of watch from over here, you know what I'm saying? So we can watch it together. And now I definitely need to rewatch this week's episode because it's like I said, I found it to be amazing. And I would like to watch that a second time. And it's a great show. And I'm glad you're watching it too. Cause like I said, I just want to be able to discuss it with you. Oh, you know what came back? Loot on Apple TV came back. And I think the first couple of episodes are up. I watched the first one and then it was late. So I fell asleep on the second one. Not because it was a bad episode. It was just late and I was tired. So I need to rewatch the second episode. That's a fun show. If you didn't watch Loot last season, Maya Rudolph plays basically a Mackenzie Scott type woman who divorces her husband and gets half his money and decides to try to do good with it. And, has trouble doing that because it's not easy to do good in the world because cities, in this case, LA and lots of other people try to stop you from doing good. And basically that story continues this season on the show. It stars a bunch of cool people. Matt Faxon is on there. Ron Funches plays her cousin. Joakim Booster. Don't want to say that's Joakim Booster and be Osmo.
Yep. It's Booster.
It is?
I believe so.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, like I said, a great show. Michaela J. Rodriguez, I'm saying, plays the woman who runs the organization that her organization that she's trying to like do good with. And it's great. And I love Ron Funches and so forth and so on. And it was 2 episodes they dropped the first time. So episodes 1 and 2 dropped yesterday as well. And it comes out, I believe it comes out on Wednesday as well. So, Loot, Apple TV. Definitely something you should be getting down with. So good. I really enjoy that show. I enjoyed the first season, and the second season seems to be just picking up right where it left off, and that's a delight. So that is what we've been watching, rolling with, and so forth and so on. I don't think we have any feedback this week. Let me just take one quick peek at the Spotify page, and to make certain. Episodes. Oh, actually, there's a button right there for that called Interact because they move kind of stuff. They've moved stuff around recently on Spotify, and they let me have everything on. They basically let me have all the shows on a single page. Like basically, it says you own all these shows and so on. I'm like, oh, thank you, so I know where they are. Yeah, okay. So no comments to be had, but we've been getting love on these Twitter streets, which is fun because like I said, I don't do much Twitter anymore. But we've been getting responses from a couple people over there on Twitter, and basically just showing us love and saying what they like about the episodes, and I get down with that. I'm poking in my notifications. I think it's just basically Carrie and my man a blue shirt and jacket who as you know I told him I shoot him over a shirt, and he got the shirt today or yesterday. And I was like, make sure you wash that bad boy inside out on cold. Because, man, these public persons be leaving a lot to be desired in their less stability. But I did get the shirt to him, and it finally arrived. So that's dope. And it took far longer to arrive than it had been in the great state of Ohio for a while. And I was like, why is this not moving? Because, of course, I'm checking the tracking. And then it finally moved. And I was like, oh, there it is. It got to him. So that's up. I told you Nick Jew caught me these candy bars from England and shipped them to me. So words to the big homie Nick Jew, the big little homie, because she's a very tiny woman. But that's what's populating in the realm of listener feedback and so forth and so on. But that was the show, y'all. See, I told you we running a little tighter this week. I knew what it was, so it's okay. So thank you for joining us. You know what I'm saying? We get down with the get down. If you feel so inclined, man, please rate, review, and subscribe and share us wherever possible. Tell a friend to tell a friend. You know what I'm saying? We got a really great show, and I think others would enjoy it as well. If you got a couple of bucks, man, thinking I can support these guys financially, consider joining us over on Patreon. You know what I'm saying? You donate $1. The dollars here don't get you too much, but it's there. You know what I'm saying? If you want to just help the cause out, you know what I'm saying? Just throw us $1 every month. It's dope, and it really does help the cause. It goes to helping upkeep the show. It truly does. And we got a $5 here where you get, stuff. You get shows and extra shows and so forth and so on. We try to do right by you over there. Merch. I just telling you about it. Just like I said, just sent a listener a shirt. You know what I'm saying? But you can cop our merch over at tpublic.com/user/StageScratchYourMilk. All one word. Feel free to give us a call. 216-264-6311. That's 216-264-6311. You can also message that number if you are so inclined. We always this racist has begun accepting text messages because they too realize that their phone number has that ability. So I had to laugh like, we was on it first. But oftentimes we always are on it first. Y'all know that. That is, of course, the 216 song. Tatum.
I was black before the eclipse.
You shall be after.
I hope I am.
That's the illest in the war zone. I don't know the name of the island in the war zone no more. What were y'all dropping at this point?
I don't know the name of it exactly. I just call it Azkaban. It looks some shit like that.
The Azkabanian warrior, my man Lunchbox 2099.
I hope you enjoyed me inside of your ears.
And I am, of course, the internet's Tayro713. Don't make me throw you into traffic. We'll catch you next week. Peace.
What happened to your ass? It used to be beautiful.